And we are live. So while I wait for people to join, I'm just going to share a story. Share the stream on Instagram. Okay. Let's see. This is so nerve-wracking. Every time I have to stream. Hi Gokul. Every time I have to stream, I get so anxious. Um, I don't know why, but I do. So today we are going to. I have already done a video on Kumbhalangi Nights, Gokul. You can check it out on the channel. So today I'm planning to do basically. I'm sorry, I can hear my own voice while I speak through OBS, which is the software I'm using to stream. So I just find it very weird to talk over my own voice. So that's why I'm talking so slowly. But yeah, anyway, yes, Schoolgirl is the best, I agree. So I'm guessing if you're on this stream, I'm hoping you watched Gone Girl, so you know what the film is all about. And even if you don't, I will be giving you a short lowdown on what Gone Girl is all about. And is there a way to mute myself on OBS without muting it for everyone on the stream? I don't know what to do. Anyway, if anyone has the fix for that, please let me know. I'm just gonna wait for a few more people to join and then we can start. So basically today I want to study editing over everything else. I know there are always people in the comments who will be like, oh, you're talking about the editor, what about the director, what about the cinematographer, what about the script? Yes, everyone is important, but I am focusing on editing today. Okay, so that's how it is. Basically, let's talk about what editing is really all about. This is coming from an amateur editor. I am in no way a professional, but this is what I know and understand about editing. Basically, editing is, in the basic sense, it is about cutting and putting things together, stitching them together to make a film. But in essence, editing is like seeing the film from a new perspective than what the director has already intended, while also delivering his vision. On the edit table, a lot of things change, a lot of things are added, a lot of things come through which the director may not have realized even while filming. So it's very interesting to see how editing really affects a film. One important thing to understand is that in many ways editing is like what do you call it, it's like music or dance, because editing also has rhythm. Editing also depends on the beat. So basically, editing is about playing with rhythm. So the scene, while you watch it, it has a pace, it has a certain pace which can change over time. It has a certain emotional depth that can be conveyed through editing, through the motion in the frame, the motion of shots as well, cutting between shots, etc. So all of these things matter when one is editing. Yeah, so today we are going to look at Gone Girl and see how this particular monologue, which is the most famous scene from a sequence from Gone Girl, is actually, yeah, how the editor basically thinks when editing this sequence, and we'll be doing a live analysis. I'll try to look at the chat as much as possible. I think I'm going to open the chat on my phone so I can have it open while I look at the video. And yeah, okay, Thelma Shoemaker, okay. Yes, I am live on my channel, thank goodness. Her favorite editing elements: freeze frame, Swiss span, voiceovers, crash zoom. Interesting. So these are all, you're talking about very specific elements that can be used as like a filmmaking choice or a design choice while editing. But we are definitely looking at something a lot more holistic today. So here in this sequence that we are going to see, you'll find that there's not a lot of insane, there's nothing insane happening. There's no swishing, and it's not like, say, everything everywhere all at once, where the editing is so intense. Here it's very straightforward, I would say even simple edit, but it is close to perfect for certain reasons. So yeah, I think right now there's like 9 people watching. Should we start? I don't know how many people will actually join. So I don't know how long to wait, honestly. It's already been 7 minutes of me chit chatting. I think I should start now. So, okay, let's go. I have the window open here. No. Stop. Okay. We'll have to go from this scene. Yes. Okay. So we are gonna start. I'm going to keep pausing and then maybe trying to go back. It's a little difficult because I am doing this on OBS, so it's gonna be hard for me to move second by second, but I'll try. So yes, this is going to be interesting. Let's go. Okay, wait. Let me give you the context first. Basically, in this film, what has happened so far is a man called Nick Dunn is being investigated because his wife has suddenly disappeared, and the police suspects him of his murder, of her murder, obviously. So at the moment, they are finding very incriminating evidence against Nick at the moment, but Nick has just found out from looking at a bunch of gifts his wife's left for him in his garage that she is setting him up so that he gets convicted for her murder, and she's actually planned this whole thing. So now we are going to see, his wife is called Amy Dunn. Okay, so Amy, now we are going to see what Amy has actually been doing, what her problem is, and then we'll come to the famous schoolgirl monologue, where she describes the basic problem with the definition of the cool girl that she got from Nick. Okay, so now we see her master plan in action. So let's go.
I am so much happier now that I'm dead.
Okay, first thing, I'm going to keep pausing. So first thing, you are seeing motion. Also listen to the music very carefully. The music is light right now. Okay, it's smooth in the background, and she is moving in a car in a certain direction. I don't know. Okay, my camera is flipped, so I have to show you this hand. Yes, it's this direction. Okay,
Technically missing. Soon to be presumed dead. Gone. And my lazy, lying
so you see, that's
cheat-
the first thing that happens, is that the editor picks the shot according to what she's saying. So when she said gone, she threw the pencil out the window. Okay, so you match what the person is saying, and this will happen a lot through this monologue. Okay. uh, yes.
Oblivious husband will go to prison for my murder. Nick Dunn took my pride and my dignity and my hope and my money. He took and took from me until I no longer existed. That's murder. Let the
See,
punishment
this time when she threw the pencil out, they didn't cut to the pencil going out, because now she's talking about something else. When she said that's murder, there's a shift in tone, there's an aggressiveness to the way she said it. That's why the camera cut from a side view of her to a front view. Okay.
crime. To fake a convincing murder, you have to have discipline.
Okay,
You befriend.
I'm just gonna scroll back slightly. Oh god, it's really hard to scroll on this.
I no longer existed. That's murder.
Now
Let the
look at
punishment
the
fit the
transition.
crime.
Now you see
To fake a
from
convincing
a
murder.
moving car to a camera moving over a table. So this is something that we follow in editing. You often cut on movement, or you cut on an audio change or something like that, so basically to keep the flow of the edit. So here you've gone from a moving car to a moving camera over a table. Okay.
You have to have discipline. You befriend a local idiot.
Now in this section, notice the pace. The pace is comparatively slower to what we're going to see. The pace is going to progress. Okay, so right now she's setting up the crime that she's going to fake.
Harvest the details of her humdrum life and cram her with stories about your husband's violent
Listen to the
temper.
music, the variation.
Secretly create some money troubles. Credit cards, perhaps online gambling.
Okay, now whenever the camera comes to Nick, you will see that the shot holds for longer. So it doesn't cut to another shot as quickly as it does between the shots of Amy doing things, because what that does is it creates a sense of motion in the way that Amy is working, because she's taking action quickly. So even though the pace is still a little slow right now, her motion is still there, while Nick, who is oblivious, who is stuck in a rut, doesn't know what's going on, his shots are usually either stationary or it's one single shot for a longer period of time, like this one.
The unwitting, bump up your life insurance. Purchase getaway car. Craigslist. Generic. Cheap. Pay cash.
So it's
You need to
also
package it.
establishing all her tools. The car is a tool. The paper and pens that we was constantly focusing on in the car were also tools. Okay, which we will figure out now.
Yourself so that people will truly mourn your loss. And America loves pregnant women.
It's very
As if it's so
interesting
hard.
that she's saying that America loves pregnant women, and in the frame you have the babies and the moms. Okay, so it's, I'm sure, you know, of course the director plans these things that, oh, we are going to be talking about this, so it has to be we have to film this section in a certain way, but it is ultimately the editor's decision to place it in certain places, because when she's saying America loves pregnant women, we have this large bridge in the background. Okay, we have a long shot of 3 women who are supposed to be mothers. Amy is not actually pregnant, but the other 2 have children. So, you know, you get a picture perfect America in this frame with a very sinister monologue going on in the background. Okay. Yes, music is getting intense. That is right.
Just spread your legs. You know what's hard?
Guys, I'm
Faking a
sorry that
pregnancy.
the audio keeps cutting. I don't know how to fix that, but basically she's just said as if it's so hard to spread your legs. Now she's going to say, "Oh, you know what's really hard? Faking a pregnancy." Okay.
First, drain your toilet. Invite pregnant idiot into your home and ply her with lemonade.
Yeah. So movement is still, because we are
Steal
establishing
pregnant idiot's
what
urine.
she is doing, it has to be shown
Voila.
a little slowly
A
so that
pregnancy
the audience
is now part of your legal medical
so that
record.
the audience can clearly see what she is doing, so that there's no doubt in your mind that wait, how did she fake that pregnancy? They're showing it to you in a slow paced manner. Okay, it's still a fast paced sequence, but it is slower compared to the rest of the sequence. Okay, now Nick is here. See the speed of this shot. Okay,
Happy anniversary.
he's, even as he enters, his entry into the house is slow, but it cuts to her face, and now I think the pace is going to pick up from here. I'm not sure. Let's see. Now he's
Wait
gonna
for
leave.
your
Now she
clueless
starts.
husband to start his day.
See, there's a lot of motion. David Fincher actually often uses motion very well in his films. I don't know who the cinematographer is. If anyway, Ripu Daman is saying, but doesn't the director sit with the editor while editing? Maybe sometimes, but actually not always. It's often the final edit, or they just come and give you the thoughts. Basically, the editor knows what has to be done. The director isn't going to sit there the whole time. The director is going to comment on the product that is created. They will have discussions when they have arguments or they have differences. Those will be figured out, but the editor has a lot of creative control. So remember that. Yeah. Fincher supremacy. Yes. What was I saying? Yeah, basically Fincher uses movement a lot in his films, especially in this film. So in film, through camera work. So the camera does all the movement, and with the camera's movement, often when editing, we cut when there's movement on screen. So maybe the characters moving, the car is moving, etc., etc. But here, since he's got camera movement, we cut according to the movement of the camera also. Okay,
Off he goes, and the clock is ticking.
there.
Meticulously stage your crime scene with just enough mistakes
See,
to
it's
raise
very
the
interesting. Again, this is not an editing point. This is obviously the director's choice. That frame, the photo frame that falls, and she puts it back up. That's something we saw in the beginning, where the police is like, "Oh, this floor is so shaky, it makes this photo frame fall, but it was already upright. How does that happen?" So she's made the scene look suspicious. So that has been established here.
of doubt. You need to bleed. A lot. A lot. The
So
head
here
wound kind of
they
bleed.
took a pause in her monologue to show you that she's literally feeling sick from bleeding so much. Okay, she said a head
crime
wound
scene.
kind of bleed. Then here she's going to say a crime scene kind of bleed. So when she says a head wound kind of bleed, the head wound, the rhythm of her speech dictates the way she's doing this. So when she says head wound, it's like a dance. It's like her voice goes with her hands. Okay, and then she says a crime scene kind of bleed. So while she's decorating the crime scene and her voice is going in that way, I'll have to go back and show it to you so that it's clearer. But yeah,
A lot. A head wound kind of bleed. A crime scene kind of bleed.
crime scene is created. Okay,
You need to clean poorly, like he would. Clean and bleed. Bleed and clean. And leave a little something behind. A fire in July. And because you're you don't stop
See,
there.
the music has stopped here, and because now she's moving on to the next part of her plan. Okay, she has done the whole crime scene, she's set up her pregnancy, she set up all the physical stuff. Now she has to psychologically manipulate the police. Okay, so she's going to talk about how she does that.
You need a diary. Minimum 300 entries on the Nick and Amy story. Start with
a
the
lot
fairy
of
tale
shots,
early days.
but
Those are true,
there's
and they're
a
crucial.
slow
You want
pace.
Nick and Amy to be likable. After that, you invent. The spending, the abuse, the fear, the threat of violence.
So
And Nick thought he was the right.
threat of violence is such an intense thing, but it has been placed on top of her chilling in her wardrobe, doing a self-care day, to show you just how much she's lying, that there is really no threat of violence, she's absolutely chilling. So it's important to contradict what she's saying with what's on screen, and contradict it in an absolute way. Okay,
Burn it just the right amount. Make sure the cops will find it. Finally, on a tradition with a very special treasure hunt. And if I get everything right, the world will hate Nick for killing his beauty.
now once we cut back to, yes, lots of slow pans and static shots, because this was the slower part of the monologue. Now we are about to get to the cool girl part, which is going to be a lot pacier. So here, the moment we cut back to where she is now, earlier she was on a bridge. Okay, so it's like she was crossing the bridge from her old life to her new life, or the end of her life, whatever she has planned. We'll see that now. So in that's why the shot, the basically the angle of the camera has also changed. It's outside the car, behind the car, top view. So we are getting a fresh perspective, and so when we come back to where she is in the present, it's not actually the present, but whatever. When we come back to the car, our mind is refreshed now after all that flashback. Okay,
Pregnant wife. And after all the outrage, when I'm ready, I'll go out on the water with a handful of pills and a pocket full of stones. And when they find
this is
my
probably
body, they'll
the
know
slowest
Nick Dunn dumped his beloved
shot,
like garbage.
longest shot,
And she
in this
floated down past
probably.
all the other abused, unwanted, inconvenient
Because they
women.
really want to establish
Then Nick
what
will die.
she wants people or the cops or the world to think about Nick when she dies. So it's very important to focus on the morbidity of the scene that she's created, the morbidity morbidity of the life or the destruction she's leaving behind. Okay,
Too. Nick and Amy will be gone, but then we never really existed.
now
Nick
see,
loved a
now
girl I
the pace has increased. Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna scroll. Yeah, now she's about to talk about the cool girl thing. So look at the beats on which this scene is cut. Okay, now she's taking quick action, and the quick action is altering herself. Now there are like sort of like three parts in what she has shown so far. And in the beginning, we saw her introducing her motives, where she is, what she's up to. In the second part, we saw her flashing back to everything she has done to set up Nick. And now in the third portion, where she's about to describe Cool Girl, what she is doing at the same time is removing her own cool girl persona, cutting off her hair, changing her clothes, changing everything about her, coloring her hair, and then going on to consume foods that she avoided as someone who was trying to maintain her figure to please her man. this is the sequence where she's going to describe the cool girl which she has been trying to embody this whole time. Okay, and as she does that, the sequence will contradict visually what she's saying in some places, and in other places it's actually going to confirm what she's saying, because the cool girl aesthetic, or whatever you want to call it, the cool girl persona is full of contradictions. We'll come to that as she starts. Okay, too much talking, let's play.
And Nick will die too. Nick and Amy will be gone, but then we never really existed. Nick loved a girl I was pretending to be. Cool girl. Men always use that, don't they, as their defining compliment.
See,
She's
the
a
shots
cool
are
girl.
a few seconds, like maybe 1 second, 2 seconds, whatever. I'm not sure. I can't count right now. But it's getting pacier. She's a cool girl, and while she's saying she's a cool girl, she's smoking, which is considered cool, right? And here the difference is she's describing a cool girl who's trying to be cool for men, but what she is doing for herself. Okay, that is the contrast between the scene and the monologue. She's a cool girl.
Cool girl is hot. Cool girl is game. Cool girl is fun. Cool girl never gets angry at her man. She only smiles.
Now see how the editor works here. Every beat is used in this sequence, basically. Oh god, it's very difficult to navigate. Okay, so the editor cuts on the beat of every word she's saying. Cool girl is hot, cut. Cool girl is game, cut. Cool girl is something else, and then cool girl never gets angry at her man. That will be one shot. Okay, just notice. Sorry, it's a little behind.
Nick and Amy will be gone,
because I'm
but
having a
then we
little
never
trouble
really
scrolling.
existed. Nick loved a girl I was pretending to be. Cool girl. Men always use that, don't they, as their defining compliment.
It's important to understand that while she's saying he thought I was a cool girl, this is what men use as the defining compliment. In that whole sequence, she is only coloring her hair. Okay, and cutting, she already cut her hair, I think, just before this line started. So to give the whole cool girl description a cohesiveness, when she has just introduced this term for the first time, to make the introduction of the term cohesive, they have used only her coloring her hair in these first few lines that she's saying, and then the aspects of the cool girl as she's going to describe them, each aspect will have a different action from her. Okay,
She's a cool girl. Cool girl is hot. Cool girl is game. Cool girl is fun. Cool girl never gets angry at her man. She only smiles in a chagrin-loving manner, and then
when she
presents
said
her
she only smiles in a chagrin loving manner, she did the opposite. She took a big bite of food. Okay, so again, contradictions.
mouth
And then presents
For
her mouth
fucking.
for fucking.
She
That's
likes
she
what
said.
he likes.
Sorry guys, this is a little sad. Okay.
Loving manner, and then presents her mouth for fucking.
Okay.
She likes what
Presents
he
her mouth
likes.
for fucking. I don't think I have to explain that. So you show the mouth, you show the other use of the mouth, the actual use of the mouth, which is eating food. And yeah, that's how you contradict. Okay, now she is going to see women on the road whom she is going to describe. Okay, and there is motion as she gets past them, because what's going to happen is her car is going to cross them and go further ahead. Okay, so basically she's leaving all the cool girls behind.
So evidently, he's a vinyl hipster who loves fetish manga. If he likes girls
She
gone
turned
wild,
away very
she's a mall babe who talks football and endures buffalo wings at Hooters. When I met Nick Dunn, I knew he
Okay,
wanted
so
cool.
the first time she saw a cool girl, she turned her head away, and the second time she sees her again. We are getting to see these women in slow motion, so we understand who they are, and she's describing them exactly. Okay, now she's pulled up at a grocery store. She's going to say basically, because it's going to the audio is going to cut again, I'm going to tell you. She's going to say, when I met Nick Dunn, I knew he wanted cool girl, and for his sake or whatever, I was willing to try. Okay,
Girl. And for him, I'll admit, I was willing to try.
Okay.
I wax stripped my
now
pussy raw.
as she said, I was willing to try, she took on a dress that she's going to try on. Now here in this section, you'll see that she's not contradicting what she's saying, but she's playing with what she's saying, because here she is also she is now starting to do whatever she wants to do, and what she wants to do is eat whatever she likes, drink whatever she likes, and become a different person. So now she is becoming a different person because she is hiding her identity by coloring her hair, cutting it, and now she's gonna buy specs and stuff and wear different clothes. So she is technically changing into someone else. So that is why she is no longer contradicting becoming the cool girl, because she is in fact becoming someone else. Okay,
When I met Nick Dunn, I knew he wanted cool girl. And for him, I'll admit, I was willing to try. I wax stripped my pussy raw. I drank canned beer watching Adam Sandler movies. I ate
do you
cold
see
pizza
the
and
beats at which I'm sorry, someone's knocking on my door. I don't know what to do. I'm just not going to open the door. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. So so do you see how beat on each beat there's a cut, yet again in this portion? One second. Is anyone saying anything? It's like she's watching her attentively. That's the why this look. Yes, Manu, this is live. Hi. Okay. Yes. Oh God. I'm sorry, guys. I know it looks like I'm very stupid. Maybe I am, but it's very difficult to scroll on OBS. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why is this happening? Okay, one second. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, let's just watch from here. Okay. Now this time we are going to perceive
when
how
I met Nick
the
Dunn, I knew
beat
he wanted
happens.
cool girl.
The
And for
cut
him,
on the
I'll
beat.
admit, I was willing to try. I wax stripped my pussy raw.
This. Okay.
I drank canned beer watching Adam Sandler movies.
One movement,
I ate cold pizza
two
and remained a
cuts.
size
When
2.
when she says, I drank cold beer, she's waking up the specs. Cut to a shot closer to her face, watching Adam Sandler movies. Okay, so there are two shots, but she's doing the same motion because she described two activities: drinking canned beer while watching Adam Sandler movies. Okay, so that's why there are two shots, but the same activity.
Semi-regularly. I lived in the moment. I was fucking game.
So while she's saying that, she's
I
also
can't say
making
I
these
didn't
cool
enjoy some
faces
of
and
it.
drinking soda.
Nick teased out in me things I didn't know existed. A lightness, a humor, an ease. But I made him smarter, sharper. I inspired him to rise to my level. I forged the man of my dreams.
Just watch.
We were happy pretending to be other.
So in this portion where she is talking specifically about the good things that came out of it, Nick did, teased out a humor in me, etc., etc. These are clearly not things that matter to her that much, because she is ultimately implicating Nick in her murder. Okay, so for that reason she is doing mundane things here, like going to the hotel, picking out, and while she's talking about being smarter, I made him smarter, she's pulling out money. Basically we are seeing parts of her plan, like using cash when she's talking about making Nick smarter, because she's basically showing through her actions also that, hey, I am the smart one here because this is a smart plan which I'm putting into motion. Okay. Yes. All right.
We were the happiest couple we knew. And what's the point of being together if you're not the happiest?
So while
But
she
Nick-
says, what's the point of being together if we are not the happiest, you'll notice that she's looking at the room she has rented. Okay, 1 second. And because she's talking about being a happy couple, basically being a happy family, being from a happy home, that is why
Sure.
she's looking at this
I
drab
inspired
little
him to
room.
rise to my level. I forged the man of my dreams.
She said, I forged the man of my dreams, and she just forged her own
We were
identity as
happy
well.
pretending to be other people. We were the happiest couple we knew. And what's the point of being together if you're not the happiest?
She's looking at the whole room. Okay.
But Nick got lazy. He became someone I did not agree to marry. He actually expected me to love him unconditionally. Then he dragged me
She's doing all of these things. She's, I don't honestly don't remember the second half of the movie just after this sequence. I'm not sure why she's checking everything in the room. I think she's just checking if everything works. So we are, what was she talking about? I completely blanked. 1 second. So she's talking about something. This is happening again. This annoying thing is happening again. Let's just go for it.
We were happy pretending to be other people. We were the happiest couple we knew. And what's the point of being together if you're not the happiest? But Nick got lazy. He became someone I did not agree to marry. He actually expected me to
so she's checking the dust on the fridge, and she's talking about Nick being lazy and becoming someone she didn't agree to marry. So basically he gathered dust as a person. So these things, the rest of the house is working. Technically her marriage was working, but it was gathering dust. It's kind of what she's describing that's happening on the scene. Okay.
love him unconditionally. Then he dragged me, penniless, to the navel of this great country and found himself.
The navel of this great country. These are big words that she's using. So the motion on screen is also big. So she dramatically takes off these sheets, and it just goes rhythmically with what she's saying. Okay.
Newer, younger, bouncier, cool girl.
This is my favorite bit where she says he replaced me with a newer, younger, bouncier, cool girl. Again, with every word we cut, and when she says bouncier, look at the shot. Okay.
Actually expected me to love him unconditionally. Then he dragged me, penniless, to the navel of this great country and found himself a newer, younger, bouncier, cool girl.
So when she said younger, she changed the sheets, got a fresh sheet. Okay, that corresponds with her saying younger. And when she said bouncier, the shot is taken from behind her, so you can see her butt. And it's a deliberately sexualizing shot. There is nothing sexual about anything she's doing currently, but when there is sexual implications, like use my mouth for what, there has to be something on screen that emphasizes the vulgarity. It's not that sexuality is vulgar, but what she's describing she considers vulgar, that he went and got himself a younger woman. So that's why they're showing her from a more sexual angle. Okay. All right. This is almost over now.
You think I'd let him destroy me and end up happier than ever?
No fucking
way. He doesn't get to win.
And that's it. We will not go further because after this she gets very violent and we don't want to see that. So in this last bit, when she says he doesn't, no fucking way, it comes back to her face, because her face, the expression on her face has the most impact. and she says that he doesn't get to win, and you think I'd let him get away with all this. Then we are looking at the money that she has taken with her, and she is kept as a safety deposit for herself. So she has saved herself from all of this. She has got Nick in trouble, and she has decided to win. So that is what this sequence is all about. Now, okay, now everyone can tell me what they are thinking. Okay. Through an old milk container while saying he expected me to love him unconditionally. Yeah, that's a good point. Again, the fact that you become old and stale and terrible, and you don't keep the romance alive, and you expect me to love you, that doesn't work. Yeah. um Amy, a normal girl from South Delhi. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll tell you something. As a woman, Amy Dunn is very relatable in some ways. Not that I am also a sociopath, at least I hope not. But yeah, she is, the resentment that she's talking about. The reason the cool girl monologue is so popular is because so many people relate to that, because so many of us realize that, oh, we do so many things just to appeal to men, to make space for men, so it's really appealing. So yeah. Wow. Hi, H. Holmes. Yeah, yes, hi. I don't know why you always say this, and I'm never going to ask you, so you can keep saying this on every video as you do. All the best. So yes, anything else anyone else wants to bring up? Anyone, what do you guys think of this film, and anything interesting you watched recently? We'll go on for another 10 minutes, and then we will end the stream. Someone keeps knocking at my door. I don't know why. I really hope my house is not blowing up, but well. Okay, I'm just gonna sit here awkwardly. Okay, so the next video that I'm doing, it is again going to take a little bit of time. That's why I decided to go live today. Going live makes me very anxious, but I, if I'm going to take long to make a video, might as well show my face every now and then. But yeah, staying with char with minimum. Sorry, I can't. I don't. Char with minimum cut lets us understand what they feel, but Fincher cuts a lot, but we still feel them like we do from the single shot stuff. Okay, what common editing traits would you find most in Fincher movies? I don't know. It honestly depends on the film, also, right? And now, when you ask me specifically about editing, I cannot remember how the rest of his films have been edited, and if it's any, there's obviously going to be similarities, there's going to be differences, but I personally can't remember anything. But this film is mostly about motion. There's motion through Amy in the second half of the film. In the first half of the film, you will find there's a lot of stagnation, a lot of stationary shots, a lot of Nick sitting around and wondering what is happening, police going around and saying what is happening. Everything is a lot more stationary and stagnant. So yes, that's one thing you'll see. Yeah, tracking shots. Yes, what about tracking shots? Okay. Yes. I think my mic is extra loud today. It's just picking up all the sounds around me for some strange reason. But yeah. So the next video, I was talking about the next video. Yes, so the next video is going to be not going to be a long video, hopefully, but it's going to be like the Macbeth video, which was a lot of research, or a lot of academic points, sort of, it's kind of going to be like that. What Spider-Man? Yes, I watched Spider-Man. It was pretty good. Any recommendations? Abhi, recommendations. Is Amy a sociopath or a psychopath? See, it's honestly, I am not a psychiatrist, so I don't actually know. But what I have read, or in the film, what they say, I think once at some point, is that she's a sociopath. Okay, and obviously there are differences between the two, but yeah, the way she was brought up, the childhood she had, because psychopaths are born, they have a different kind of brain, and sociopaths are basically created through a difficult childhood or whatever. So the fact that she had a very stressful childhood and she was a child star, that may be a reason that she became a sociopath. Do you watch some films with no sound or just hear the film with no visual? No, that never happens to me. I do sometimes just listen to YouTube videos instead of watching them. That happens, but not the other way. Detachment is a good movie. Okay. What can I give you? What recommendations can I give you? I can't think of anything honestly right now. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see if Tar is good. Yeah, Tar is a good film. I don't know. I can't think of even one thing. So I was very disappointed by the series finales of Ted Lasso and Barry. So yeah, anyone who's been watching those shows will be disappointed in the last season. Stalker, Memories of Murder, incredible film. Anything by Bong Joon-ho, you can just trust and go in and you will be blown. Oops, your mind will be blown. Triangle of Sadness, I don't know. I was not really. I'm like, you're trying too hard. That's what I felt about Triangle of Sadness. I have not watched 2018 yet, but I plan to. It's still on my list. And yes, final 3 minutes and then we will stop. Bong's new film is coming, getting good reviews. I don't know about this, I'll have to look it up. Okay, that's great. Always happy to see a Bong Joon-ho film. But yes, okay. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in on a weekday after work or college or whatever. And it's very nice of you to be here. And I think I'm pretty much done discussing everything. Recommend YouTube channels on films. Thomas Flight is the best one at the moment, I feel. And I can't think of anyone else right now. Who else? Accented Cinema is actually really good. Try checking Accented Cinema. So yeah, that's pretty much all, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I will now end the stream and I will hopefully come out with a new video very, very soon. So see you. Bye. And yes, that's it. Bye then. Bye.